What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to I Do It Myself. Good morning. If this is your first time here and you like what it is that I do, hit that sub button, hit them likes and run up that hype. Today we talking about D'Angelo. Let's appreciate the man. He's no longer here with us, and we're gonna have a little bit of a conversation about health. But first and foremost, man, we gotta show appreciation where appreciation is due. D'Angelo is one of the greatest to ever do this shit. If you grew up with a black mama like mine, you know what I'm saying? If you grew up in a household like mine, then that Voodoo or that Brown Sugar album was on repeat. Um, when I was a kid, it's so funny how music works, right? Because when I was a kid, I remember my mom playing these albums and going through his music, and I'm talking about daily, daily, daily. And as for me, let's say 96 is when this came out. Pac was still, Pac was still alive when Brown Sugar came out. Big was still here. Nas, Jay's first album. Um, it was so many people that was, putting on. The Fugees had dropped the score. What was the movie? Oh man, what is the while drinking your juice in the hood? Don't be a menace to society while drinking your juice in the hood. Yes, that soundtrack, it had Winter Wars on it. A lot of albums dropped. Iron Man from Ghostface Killer. Now the reason why I brought all those up is because my mom was playing D'Angelo. I did not want to hear none of that shit. I'm not even being funny. And that's not to discount what he had going on. I'm just speaking about being a kid at that time and everything I was into. Like I said, Nas, it was written, dropped that year. Mobb Deep. You know what I'm saying? It was so many albums that was coming out, so much music. But as I got older, R&B music specifically, when you were a little kid, I wasn't one of them kids that was dealing with love or trying to be in relationships. A lot of us was growing up a little bit too fast. But I was one of those kids that as I got older, the music, as I got older, I started to understand it. Kind of like watching a movie, right? Like you watch Boys in the Hood when you were a kid. The message is different when you get older. You understand more things, you see more things visually that you kind of connect with. And that's what happened with D'Angelo's music. Now, let's go to a news report right quick. And they're gonna say a couple of things regarding D'Angelo's life and his passing.
His music has that ability to transport you to a time, to a place. D'Angelo's influence helped usher in the neo-soul movement of the 90s, a sound that seamlessly weaved together gospel, funk, hip-hop, and jazz. We just learned of the 51-year-old's passing, his family sharing the news, saying in part, after a prolonged and courageous battle with cancer, we are heartbroken to announce that Michael Eugene Archer, known to his fans around the world as D'Angelo, has been called home. D'Angelo embraced music at just 3 years old, playing piano at his father's Pentecostal church.
I think that's amazing, man. He speaks about, learning how to play the piano at 3 years old. Everybody he's worked with, from Lauryn Hill, Nothing Even Matters. That's probably my favorite D'Angelo collab. To what he's done with Raphael Sadiq and growing up in the church. And I think that a lot of great musicians, they have their own personal battles. And this personal battle that he was fighting was with cancer. And let's go back to the entitled video though. Like, pause. Nah, but for real though. That was a barrier breaker. Remember when Hits from the Street did that joint over? It was crazy, right? Like D'Angelo had gone viral for what that meant back then. I mean, what it means now for back then, with basically being naked in a video. You know what I'm saying? And simulating like he was getting some, y'all know, for YouTube guidelines. But I wanted to have a conversation about what he passed from, and that's pancreatic cancer. It's a very, very serious issue amongst black men, right? It's a very, very serious issue amongst men, period. But I wanted to go through some statistics. And again, what I do over here on this channel, it is a little bit different than, all the other content creators. And I'm not doing that to just try to say, well, I'm different from them. I'm just saying I speak about the things that are important to me. And when I seen that he passed away at 51 years old, I'm not going to say I was necessarily angry. Of course, I was like, I was disheartened. But what I was upset at mostly was seeing that, a man who was so talented and beloved by not only the community, but his family, had lost his life so young. Like 51, I'm close to 51, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm 42, I'm about to be 43. Like I've been telling y'all a lot of times, I've been taking a lot about my health really, really serious. I lost my dad to cancer. And when I lost my dad to cancer, unfairly, I put this clock in my mind about how much time I had on this earth. And one thing I vowed to do was that day by day, I was going to make sure that any preventative measures I could take where I could be here longer, I was going to take that. So let's go through some of the statistics. It says how black men are likely to get pancreatic cancer. It says about 17.9% out of every 100,000 men are diagnosed with pancreatic cancer each year, and the ages adjust. It says that with roughly 21 million black men living in the U.S., that translates to approximately 3,700 to 3,900 new cases per year among black men, right? It says it's a lifetime risk of developing pancreatic cancer. U.S. Men overall is 1 in 64. For black men, the risk is slightly higher, 1 in every 5, based on comparative data. So I just want to, point it out that, a lot of times, you know, I was scared. I think all of us, man, just men, period. I think as courageous as we could be, we'll go fight the world, you know what I'm saying? We'll stand up for all types of rules and all types of business, and we'll do all types of shit. Don't nothing be terrifying men like the doctor and the dentist. Let me tell y'all, man, like I think that a lot of times for us, we can't even see our own accountability on how we abuse ourselves, right? Like physically, emotionally, mentally, and that varies to so many different things. But again, let's go through the statistics. The estimated annual cases per 100,000 is 17.9% of black men, which is 1 in every 5. For white men is 14%, 1 in every 6. For Hispanic men is 1 in every 7. And Asian and Pacific Islander men is 1 in 7 as well. So that just goes to show you that a lot of us, even for the ones that are watching this channel today, because my demo is heavy strong on the brothers, you know what I mean? We need to go get ourselves checked out. Like seriously, like we need to go get ourselves checked out. If something is bothering you, we got to speak about it. Let's not wait till it's too late, because I could just share this with y'all. Y'all are great to me, and I just want to be honest and transparent about how I felt the day when I found out my dad had cancer. My dad didn't have cancer. He didn't have pancreatic cancer. He had cancer in his liver. And then I found out that he had kidney failure. But when I first found out that my dad had the cancer, right, it was the day, it was the day after his birthday. It was September 5th, 2020. And I found out, and when I found out, they said, yo, we don't know how much time he has left. And then my dad passed 2 weeks after that. So throughout those 2 weeks, I mean, it was beautiful. It was hell, but it was beautiful. The beauty part was that I got a chance to spend a lot of time with my pops. The hell part was me accepting the fact that he was going to go any day. And I had a good relationship with my dad. You know what I mean? I never got a chance to live with my dad, but my dad was in my life. You know what I'm saying? I might have not had him the way I wanted to have my dad in my life. But listen, when situations come like this and shit gets serious, you start valuing time, because that's the most valuable commodity that we have, right? And again, it just made me think of preventative measures. If I would have been on top of this shit when he was telling me his stomach was hurting last year, and we would have caught it a little bit earlier, how much more time would I have had with him, right? Let's go to why the risk is higher with black men. It says higher prevalence of diabetes, a known risk factor. It says higher smoking rates historically, chronic inflammation of the pancreas, which is more frequent in some African American populations, less than to early diagnostic imaging and surgical intervention, possible genetic differences in tumor biology though the research is ongoing, excuse me. And this is some of the stuff that says preventative measures. I wanted to talk to y'all again. Listen, if you haven't hit like on this channel, because as I get older, just certain shit just becomes more important to me. Like, it's one thing to understand that, music artists, entertainment, people beefing, all that other shit. But how much important of it is it for us to realize that for all the things you enjoy, if you ain't got your health, you can't enjoy none of that. So let's talk a little bit more about what you got to maintain. It says a healthy weight. Obesity increases the risk of pancreatic cancer by 20 to 30%. It says limit processed foods and sugary drinks. Emphasize on fruits, vegetables, lean protein, and whole grains. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I've been on some juicing shit heavy. Like, I've been on juicing really, really heavy. My mornings when I wake up, the only like food that I even make in the morning for myself for breakfast is either French toast or home fries. I don't eat eggs. I like eggs and fried rice. I don't really mess with eggs like that, like scrambled eggs or sunny side up eggs and none of that. So that's what I eat. Give me some beef bacon. I don't really mess with turkey bacon like that no more. I just don't be liking the flavor of it. But, you know, I do mess with the potatoes and everything. But what I've been doing instead, I've been subbing all of that out for juice, green juices. Like every morning I'm waking up, I'm doing kale, spinach, green apple, ginger, lemon, what else I put in there? And apple. Did I say apple? I might have said apple. But yeah, yo, it just take a little bit extra time, but drink it, right? It says also incorporate 150 minutes / week of moderate exercise. So that's another thing, y'all. Going to the gym, you ain't got to be a bodybuilder to exercise. You ain't got to be a body to exercise. Yeah, I'm talking to you right now because you know you think you got to go extra hard in the gym. I mean, if you able to and you get to that point, that's great. But you don't have to do that in order to be healthy. So on some G shit, like for real, let's get to it. For real, let's get to it. Now it says quit or never start smoking. Now this is something that I know y'all joke with me all the time. Wayno be smacked. Wayno be high. Wayno, I don't get high. I don't smoke. I don't smoke nothing. Not no hookah, not no cigarettes, not no weed. And I also grew up in a household where it was a lot of cigarette smoke, and my mom's and all of her friends smoked cigarettes. So as a kid, like I tried to smoke a cigarette one time in my life, and once I tried it, I never tried it again. But put them stogies down, even that bud. Like I know that y'all be saying, yo, weed, it come from the earth. It's natural. It's this, it's that. But keep it 1,000, man. That shit is, listen, you smoking tobacco and whatever. All right. But it says smokers are 2 times more likely to develop the disease. It says within 5 to 10 years of quitting, risk drops close to that of non-smokers. So if you smoke cigarettes or cigars or any forms of tobacco, risks are elevated. What else are we in here? Hold up. We got some more. Manage diabetes effectively. So if you are, if you have diabetes or if you, you know what I'm saying? If it's hereditary in your family, if somebody in your family got diabetes, it says regular blood sugar monitoring is good. Reduce refined carbs and processed foods again, and exercising. That's what we keep coming back to, exercising. Right now, listen, here's another one. Because I know a lot of y'all, we be going through shit and y'all be chasing them bottles. You feel me? Y'all be chasing them bottles. I can't even talk about lean and none of that because they don't even mention none of that in here. But if you drinking liquor, lean is worse. You know what I'm saying? But it says limit alcohol consumption. Heavy drinking can lead to chronic pancreatitis, a known risk factor, for pancreatic cancer. It says no more than 2 drinks a day for men, and less is better. I don't know anybody that drinks 2 times a day, but if you drink 2 times a day, 7 days a week, you got a problem. It says if you ever had pancreatitis, it's safest to avoid alcohol completely. And I just want to keep pushing this to y'all. As a matter of fact, we want to remember D'Angelo in a positive light. This is him on the Rosie O'Donnell show, talking about, who he is as an artist.
So you're having a good time?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
22 years old? You're doing pretty well.
Yeah, thank you.
Who are your musical influences?
Everybody. I love Prince.
Prince.
I love Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder.
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. You ever meet Prince?
I never met him.
No.
Never met him.
I almost met him. I went down, D'Angelo, he was performing here at today's show.
Oh, yeah.
I was like following him around and he called. And I call him Taft Cat.
Taft Cat.
Yeah, you heard that? Yeah, the artist formerly known. I also heard you like Earth, Wind & Fire when you were...
I love Earth, Wind & Fire.
The first song you played was Boogie Wonderland?
Yeah, I started playing piano when I was 3, and really, the piano was bought for my oldest brother, so when I was little, no one really knew I played, so my father came home from work, and I surprised him, really, and, I played that song for him, and I played Donna Summer, Hot Stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Donna Summer, Hot Stuff, looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening. Yeah, I like that. I like Boogie Wonderland, too.
Wonderland.
Do you know the words to that?
Nah, I don't remember them.
Oh, really? Guess what? Midnight beats so slowly into hearts of men who have seen too many men. The mirror stares you in the face and says, baby, it's your what? Is that right? That's right. You're really wonderful. Thank you.
I mean, Rosie O'Donnell funny, but yeah, man, like look at the charisma of this man. You know what I'm saying? He was a very, very special light. And also, let's just finish on bringing some of this awareness. But like I said, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because when I seen that, D'Angelo had passed from something like this, of course, people could start doing content, deep diving into the controversies of his life, the things that didn't go right, the things that, he did well, but, all of the stuff that might have followed him, you know what I'm saying? The rumors, talking about where he was at, whatever. I think that this is a great opportunity for us to for one, appreciate D'Angelo for everything he's done for the game, but also, to use what he's going through as a form of awareness for us to spread amongst one another. You know what I mean? Negativity spreads fast. Let's spread health information just as fast. And it says focus on anti-inflammatory nutrition. So some evidence links chronic inflammation to pancreatic tumor growth. You can lower you can lower inflammation by eating fatty fish, salmon or sardines, leafy greens, kale or spinach. I put those in my green juices like I was telling y'all. Whole grains, berries, olive oil, spices like turmeric and ginger. That's another thing that I do put in my green juice. And I also started making my own ginger shot. So don't feel like you got to go to the supermarket and spend $6 and $7 on a ginger shot. Buy yourself a juice of about $40 and just taking. My brother taught me how to make them drinks. Put some lemons in a juicer, some ginger, a little bit of honey. You got yourself a ginger shot. And avoid processed meats such as bacon and sausage. If you're eating pork in 2025, you're out of pocket. Refined sugars and fried foods and trans fats. So I'm gonna close it off there. Like I said, man, I looked at this as two opportunities. Like I said, on one side, we can think about these great, albums he's given us, The Messiah, Voodoo, Brown Sugar, all the great moments he's given us. You know what I'm saying? All of the rumors and stuff that we were gravitating towards when we wanted new music. He was very, very secluded. I feel like D'Angelo is one of those artists that was kind of like a myth, right? He's like a unicorn. I've never even seen him before, but I know if had I seen him, it would have felt special. You feel me? Let's just take time to appreciate one another, hug and love on one another. Ladies, y'all too. You know what I'm saying? Like, want to make sure that y'all are aware we need y'all. Y'all need us. Let's be together. Let's hold each other down. Let's nourish each other. Let's help one another. Let's grow together and take care of y'all health, because that's the most important part about all this shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can want all the cars, you can want the chains, the watches, you know what I mean? All of the accolades, but what is it worth if, you know what I mean, you may lose your life a little bit early? And I seen a study that said that pancreatic cancer starts around the age of 55 to like 70. That's like the sweet spot of where it affects people. He was 51. So just be a little bit more aware about how you eat and drinking, you know what I mean, your vices, turn them shits down, man. Like, I know we all going through stuff. I know we have our own coping mechanisms, but if you can't put them bottles down, you know what I mean? Like, drink some water, you feel me? Get yourself together. This is how I do it myself. For the ones that rock with me, you know how we doing. For the ones that don't, eventually will. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.